As Queen Consort, Camilla has her fair share of rules and traditions she now needs to abide by, so let's dive right in. Here are the top 10 strict rules Consort Camilla has to follow. Starting off in our number 10 spot, we have Queen Consort. Considering how long the Queen was in her position for, and just history in general, it's been a long time since we've had a Queen Consort. This has left some people confused over what consort really means or why she has this title, so let's break it down. It was thought that Camilla would have been given the title of the inferior princess consort due to the controversy surrounding hers and Charles' marriage, since her passing the Queen in a special announcement said that Charles would inherit the throne after her death, and said it was her quote sincere wish that, when the time comes, Camilla will be known as Queen Consort as she continues her own loyal service. Camilla, now as Queen Consort, has the female equivalent of her husband's title, but she does not share the sovereignty of the king, nor does she share in his powers, either politically or military. Camilla will be crowned in her own ceremony, one that will be similar to her husband's, albeit a simplified version, but despite the Queen title, the consort part means that she does not hold any of the same power. This also raises the question as to why the Queen's husband, Prince Philip, was not named King Consort. This is due to the fact that historically, a king ranks higher than a queen, and of course, she was the queen, the head of the monarchy, not him. This left Philip without the king title so as to not steal the shine from her royal highness. In our number 9 spot today, we have the heir to the throne. Now that we're on the same page of why she is called the Queen Consort, we have another question of if something were to happen to King Charles III, would she then take over the throne? The answer is no. The consort part also means that she is not an heir to the throne. That is a right reserved for people born into the royal bloodline, while Camilla married into the family. Right now, Prince William remains the heir to the throne after Charles' reign is finished, and unless something insane and unexpected happens, that likely won't change. Here's the thing though, should King Charles pass away before Camilla does, what exactly happens to her title is a bit convoluted. This is because her stepson is the heir to the throne. Normally, should Prince William have been her son, she would go on to be Queen Mother, but that doesn't seem fitting as William's biological mother is the beloved late Princess Diana. Only time will tell what exactly happens in regards to that, but hopefully that is an issue that we won't have to deal with for a long while. In our number 8 spot today, we have the royal vocabulary. Of course, for the royal family, there are words and phrases that they're asked to stay away from. I'm sure a few of my personal favorites likely came to mind, but aside from curse words, there are normal everyday words that members of the royal family aren't allowed to use. According to Kate Fox, author of Watching the English: The Hidden Rules of English Behavior, there are dozens of everyday words that they aren't allowed to use, and this includes the word toilet. Apparently this is due to the French origins of the word, which seems a little extreme. Instead, royals are likely to be heard asking for the lavatory. This might be the least bizarre on this list, however, as dessert is also a word that they are meant to stay away from, instead switching it for something like pudding. Other words Kate listed also include patio, perfume, lounge, and couch. In our number 7 spot today, we have the feast tradition. This is perhaps one of the most bizarre royal family traditions I've ever heard of, and there's a lot of weird ones. Apparently, both before and after Christmas dinner, the royal family all weigh themselves. This personally sounds like a nightmare, but apparently this is to see how much people enjoyed themselves. Like, Grandma, you can tell by my stretchy pants I wore, I'm here to enjoy myself. You don't need to weigh me. Apparently this tradition dates back to the reign of King Edward VII, who was Queen Elizabeth's great-grandfather. He wanted to ensure his guests ate well, so he weighed them to make sure that everyone left sufficiently full. Definitely a very strange tradition that apparently Princess Diana didn't take too kindly to, and truly, can we even blame her? In our number 6 spot today, we have royal women. Women everywhere are no stranger to feeling unnecessary pressures to look and act a certain way, but that is most definitely extremely heightened when you're a woman in the royal family. There are tons of random rules for women, such as what hats they can wear and at what times, we'll get into that later, and what kind of clothes they can wear, but one of the absolutely weirdest rules in my opinion is about their coats. Apparently, it's unladylike to remove your coat in public, which is truly a memo I did not receive. So if a woman in the royal family wears a coat to a function, that coat has to stay on the entire time. Imagine, you guys, you're absolutely sweating, but you have no choice because it would seem unladylike? I feel like that is just some outdated rule that for some reason still continues to linger around. In our number 5 spot today, we have Fascinators. Speaking of clothing rules for royalty, it is a long-standing tradition that royal women always wear a hat to a formal function. This rule originates from a time when women showing their hair in public wasn't the thing. Of course, course, around the 1950s that began to change more and more, and now this rule is only seen for functions rather than like all public appearances. Although this rule is for formality, the hats are anything but conservative, however. Royal women over the years have donned some unbelievable and downright wild hats. I mean, we all saw what Princess Beatrice wore on her head to Prince William and Princess Kate's wedding in 2011. Or for Camilla, even the hat she wore to the Queen's funeral. The hat wear for royal women is certainly anything but boring. In our number 4 spot today, we have pets. As we all know very well, image is everything for the royal family, and that is down to the finest, smallest detail, including pets. It is well known that the Queen absolutely loved corgis, and how could we possibly blame her? But apparently, however, if a dog is not a corgi or a Labrador, it is socially looked down upon. Can't describe how insane that is, they're dogs! If you brought a dog who had just been rolling around in the mud everywhere with you, I could see why this wouldn't be as widely accepted among fancy social circles, but only giving the choice of a few random breeds seems kind of ridiculous. Apparently Meghan Markle even had to give up her beagle named Guy a few years ago before she joined the family, but of course she has since left and I'm sure is happy to own whatever dog she sees fit. In our number 3 spot today, we have greetings. One of the major changes for Camilla now that she is Queen Consort will be seen in how she greets other members of the royal family. It is customary for members of royalty to curtsy or bow upon greeting each other, but Camilla will no longer be required to do that. She is the Queen now, after all. Of course, other members will continue to need to curtsy or bow to her as they greet her, but Camilla is off the hook. That is, of course, until she meets other monarchs around the world. In these situations, when meeting other royal families in different places, she will still curtsy as a sign of respect. In our number 2 spot today, we have bright colors. If Camilla has a lot of black items in her wardrobe, she can say goodbye to wearing most of them unless she is going to a funeral. While less of a formal rule and more of just an unspoken one, this tradition has royal women refraining from wearing black outfits unless attending a funeral. The Queen certainly was a part of this tradition, as can be seen in her many brightly colored outfits, and while it isn't a requirement to wear outfits as bright as the Queen did, it is likely we will see Camilla following suit in some of these bright choices. Not only does it ensure that she is easy to spot in a crowd should she need any kind of assistance, it is also just pleasing and very welcoming to see someone dressed brightly. While traveling, although she likely won't wear it, Camilla must bring at least one all-black outfit with her, however, and this is in case of emergency. If someone unfortunately passes away while she is traveling, she needs to have this black outfit with her so that when she touches back on home soil, she can be dressed in appropriate mourning attire. In our number 1 spot today, we have the Tiara Traditions. One more rule for Camilla and what/when she is allowed to wear things on her head, we have to talk about tiaras or crowns. Tiaras must only be worn at indoor formal events during the evening. Apparently hats are never worn indoors after 6 p.m. because at that point, ladies would have changed into their evening dresses, which of course requires a completely different dress code and hat situation. Once out of the daytime fascinator attire, along with the evening dress comes tiaras as well as the family jewels. The only exception to this is on the wedding day. The bride of course can wear her tiara at any point during the day, but of course Camilla's wedding day has since passed. In fact, many royals don't even wear their first tiara until their wedding day, like Kate Middleton. What's interesting is that Camilla actually didn't wear a tiara during her wedding to Charles, but that could be because of how small the ceremony was, along with all of the controversy surrounding their marriage at the time. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye. The hat, or for Camilla, even